Hi guys, my name is Tyler Rugge and I was nominated by M from Exotic to make this video here on the USARK YouTube channel. I keep a variety of animals, the bulk of which are reptiles, and I make content here on social media to help show people how to keep them responsibly. But I also want to remove a lot of the negative stigma from a lot of these animals that people generally don't like very much, so that they can learn to appreciate them to the fullest extent. Keeping reptiles is something that I just started doing for fun, but it quickly became such a huge and important part of my life. I just became so fascinated with all of these really amazing creatures out there. I wanted to learn more about them and really just try to learn how to keep them to the best of my abilities in captivity and just see them thrive. Now I have the privilege to work with such a large variety of amazing creatures, and unfortunately a lot of these animals are facing habitat destruction in the wild, which is causing their overall numbers to dwindle. A lot of these species are becoming endangered or even extinct, and their only real chance of survival is to be kept in captivity. And a really great example of this is the crested gecko. Now, for decades, we actually thought that crested geckos were extinct until they were rediscovered in 1994. And once they were rediscovered, a handful of them were brought into captivity and, of course, brought into the pet trade. And now crested geckos are one of the most commonly kept pet reptiles that you can find. They're just absolutely everywhere. So they quite literally went from being extinct to just, there's millions of them. Another really cool species that I get to work with is the Abronia graminia, and this is another species that's endangered in the wild, largely due to deforestation. And there's a handful of people who are keeping them in captivity and successfully breeding them. And I'm hoping to be able to continue to have success breeding them so that I can contribute to a larger captive population, because again, in the wild, they just aren't doing too well currently. And there's also a lot of other different species that I keep that are pretty rare, and I get the privilege to be able to have breeding programs and help contribute to a captive population. USARK is a huge reason why I get to keep doing this, because they're fighting for not only my right, but everyone's right to continue keeping these animals. And as I mentioned, another really big part of what I do is creating content about my animals on social media. And posting to YouTube and Instagram might not seem like it's going to have the biggest impact on our hobby, but you'd be surprised, because I've been able to meet a lot of my viewers and a lot of people who watch other content creators, obviously, on social media who have greatly impacted them and caused them to have a passion for animals and go into different career paths, whether it be the veterinary field, zoology, ecology, animal education, wildlife rehab, or even to open their own rescues or sanctuaries for animals. And these are all really important roles that people take on to benefit the overall well-being of all these amazing creatures that we have on this planet. And having the opportunity to experience these animals hands-on, even if it's just keeping them as a pet or seeing other people and how they interact with them, plays a huge role in inspiring people to pursue these different career paths. I guess what I'm saying is being able to have the right to keep these animals in captivity is so much more than just for our enjoyment or for us to keep them as pets. And even if you want to just keep these animals as pets, you should have every right to do so. But there's so much more that goes into it than just that. When these laws are being passed that are trying to limit and ban a lot of these animals, it's not only affecting our ability to keep them as pets, but it's affecting our ability to learn more about them, to breed them, in some cases to save animals from potential extinction. Again, inspiring people to pursue other career paths that are really important for the overall well-being of the animals on this earth. And this is why it's so important to support USARK, because USARK is fighting for all of our rights to be able to continue keeping these animals, and they're the ones that are dealing with the lawmakers and helping stop a lot of these bans that people are trying to pass. What's also really important, and why we're here posting these videos, is to show all of the different people out there who keep these animals, why they keep them, why it's important to them, and why we should have the right to continue keeping them. So I just wanted to share why it was important to me and why I think it's also important to a lot of other people. And even if you can't donate to USARK, make sure that you have all the notifications on, make sure you're subscribed to their YouTube channel, following them, and just spreading the word. There's strength in numbers, and it's really important that we do our part so that we can continue keeping and enjoying and learning about all of these amazing creatures. Also teaching other people about these creatures. Hopefully one day, everyone will just understand why we love them so much. But until then, it's our job to show them why. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. Again, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. And for the next video, I would like to nominate Mason Barnes.